What is up, Pokekeeps and Masters? This is Rusty, PokeRuss, and we are back for another deck profile. Sorry for the late deck profile, but I had a wonky Saturday, and we had tournaments and all that kind of stuff, so I was testing this deck out, actually, the Beerus deck. This is going to be a mono-blue Beerus deck. Beerus is pretty interesting. Unawoken, when this card attacks, if you have 3 or more energy, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or less and KO it, and then at 4 energy, you can awaken. Awakened is Beerus, God of Destruction. When this card attacks, draw 1 card, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 3 or less and KO it. So he turns into, he just destroys. He can destroy big things, small, like medium things. And then 16 mana, which we never get this effect off. Main phase 16 mana, switch this card to rest mode and you win the game. Never won with this effect, but it's a kind of cool, nifty effect. He's one of the few that doesn't draw when he attacks, which is kind of sad, but you get over it. He's a really, really good leader. I definitely suggest you trying him out, even if you don't try out this version of the deck. This is actually a mono-blue Whis deck, actually. We have your leader. We're starting out with the standard 4 Majin Buu. 2, 3, 4. If you guys don't know what this card does, it is that turn 1, draw 1, then you sack it off for your combo power. It's pretty standard, pretty much in any version, any deck that runs any sort of blue. Even in the decks that run the least amount of blue, this card is ran. This card is a good card. It's a 1-drop draw card. I think in some decks it might be replaced with the Goku next set, the turn 2 Goku, but we'll get into that later. Next we have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, God, or Bulma the God Tempter. Now this is a turn 1, 1000, kind of weak, but its effects is what's important. When you play this card, choose 1 Whis with an energy of cost of 4 or less in your deck and add it to your hand. So you'll see there's 2 Whis in the deck. You can only grab 1 of them with this one, but it adds a card to your hand and it helps you mana ramp, which mana ramp is going to be phenomenal in this deck. This is what this deck focuses on. There's multiple versions of this deck. I've seen the yellow-blue version of this deck. I've seen the green-blue version of this deck. I think the mono-blue is actually the more of the consistent ones. That's why I decided to run mono-blue with this strat. So we have our blockers. We have 4 King Kais. Guardian North Kai. He's just your standard weak turn 1 blocker. Pretty standard. I really didn't know what else to say about him, but that's kind of where he's sitting. He's nice. He does what he needs to do, and then he goes home. He goes home to his world that Goku blew up. Next we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Boost Attack Piccolo. Boost Attack Piccolo is your standard booster card. The turn 2 booster cards they add. If your life is 4 or less, then you get to boost by 10,000 and draw 1 card. Super beautiful. I'm glad these came out set 1, and I definitely feel like these are going to be some of the cards that cause rotation later down the line. Okay, so next on our list is another Piccolo. We have 3, let me put the zoom in on this, 3 Taunting Piccolos. Taunting Piccolo is your, he's going to be your second blocker of the deck. Because this deck does need a little bit more blockers because you are ramping up to a little bit higher turns. So you're kind of just defending your life a little bit better. Just trying to, you play these and you play your other blockers late game. You kind of want to get to your boosted Awaken form, start killing off your opponent's guys, and start blocking some other moves. So you can get to the next turn, which is your turn 4 Whis. Turn 4 Whis is your standard mana ramp. You hit it on turn 4, which does seem a little bit late, but he's super good. Put a card from your top of your deck into your energy. This card is going to be beautiful. It's going to ramp you up. You're going to pretty much hit this turn 4, hit turn 6. You can, if you wanted to, you could ramp in this deck. I wouldn't suggest it, but you can ramp in this deck. Turn 2 Objection, that will put you automatically into turn 4 next turn 4 Whis, and then you're on turn 6 on your opponent's turn 4. It adds up quickly, and the more you can hit these, the better. Next we have another 4 cost. We have 4 Energy Boost Beerus. This is kind of your, he's one of your big guys. Double Strike. When this card is put into play, if you have 5 or more energy, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. So this is definitely why you're doing some of the ramp stuff, because you definitely don't want to hit him on turn, so you're kind of trying to hit this on turn and go from there, because you blow something up, give him Double Strike, he Double Strikes, then your leader comes in, kills one of their other guys, you killed 2 guys, took 2 BR, or took 2 prize cards, and you just had a win of condition. I don't know. You just had a great turn, is what I'm trying to say. Next, you have these guys. Now you can get these in the deck either hollow or non-hollow. I decided to kind of common this deck down as little as possible, just so, like, this is really the only actual super rare in the deck. This is a great deck, and it's also like a standard budget deck. Like, there's only, I believe, 4 rares in this deck, which is absolutely phenomenal. But this guy is your turn 5, 2000. You can play on top of Vegeta, but you don't have to. When you play this card, you have 5 or more mana, draw 2 cards. That's absolutely beautiful. Anything that gets you draw, especially when you don't have your leader drawing for you, it's super necessary. Okay, so the next card in your deck is going to be your win condition. This is the big bad Whis, Judge of Gods. This needs zoomed in, or not zoomed in, but focused. Whis, Judge of Gods. So this guy is your win condition, 100%. This card was actually thought to not be playable when the game initially came out because of its high cost. Whis and Beerus were kind of just a joke, which I can understand, but after the games became more control-y and went longer and people understood the meta, we found out that this card was actually highly playable. It costs 12 mana, 6 have to be blue, which is why I mostly run blue. I mean, there's other reasons why I run mono blues, because this deck, one, it does what it does, and it does what it needs to do and goes home. It doesn't falter from that, it doesn't play around anything else, it kind of just does what it does. The sideboard does what it needs to do if it needs to falter. So, this guy is a quadruple breaker, permanent. This card's attack and skill cannot be negated, which is huge. So when this guy's attacking, he's attacking in. He's destroying your face with that taking 4 of your life. And his skill is when you play this card, if your leader is Beerus, after this turn you take another one. So that skill can't be negated. You can't use that yellow card that negates skills and just be like, nope, you just wasted 12 mana for a little 4,000 mana. Nope. He's coming in, attacking, doing his damage, untapping all your junk, doing it again, summoning, you get the draw, you get the summon, you get to go. Oh, he is the definition of a win more card. He will put you in, even if you're in a bad position, you drop that, you are in such an advantageous position. Okay. Next, we're going to get into our extra cards. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 Sensu Beans. This is how you're going to play a lot of your blockers. These are going to be huge, definitely huge on the turns where you're playing Whis. It's going to be absolutely huge. You're going to be able to use so much of your mana, so much more. You're just going to be able to reuse it again. And your opponent's just going to sit there and watch you play with your own cards and not going to be able to do anything while you're just destroying their face. Sensu Beans, absolutely gorgeous. Amazing card. Next we have Objection. This is going to help you ramp up to that 12. You have this and you have the Whis. You have 4 Objections. This is what's going to, like I said, it's going to ramp you up. It's going to hit you that turn 4, so you can go into Whis, or you can go into blockers. You can do whatever you need to do and have fun. Next we have 2 Result of Trainings. Now this card is questionable. Some people have ran 3 of it, some people have ran 4 of it, some people have ran 2 of it. I'm running 2 of it because you don't always need it. And the turns you're going to need it with the draw of the deck and the way the game plays, you're going to get one of them before you need to activate it. So this during your turn, you may activate your leader's Awaken, even if you have 5 or more life. Then choose up to 4 energy and switch them to active mode. So that's absolutely huge. That allows you to Awaken even if your opponent's kind of stalling out, and then you can just like destroy their early game stuff and not have to worry about them not letting you Awaken. You get your 2 draws when you flip over, and that's what you really need from the game. Next on our list is our Negate. You run a standard blue Negate, Whis' Coercion. Whis' Coercion is just your Negate and then choose up one of your energy and switch to active mode. Absolutely beautiful. Probably one of the best negates in the game, because it allows you to say, okay, I'm negating that for 1 and then getting 1 mana back, so am I negating again? You don't know. You don't know. You have like 7 cards in hand. You don't know what I'm doing. So it's absolutely huge. As long as you have 1 mana, you're putting fear into your opponent, and that's huge. Last but not least, we have Sun Goten, Family of Justice. He's pretty much teched into almost every deck in the format currently. He's just a great card. During your turn, if you combo with this card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy of 3 or less and KO it. Just 1 extra kill. It's really worth. Get 1 for 1 card. Plus you get that 5,000 boost that you might have needed to get over something. absolutely beautiful card. It's going to be around for a while. If we were to see anything limited, I might see this. It's not overly broken, but it's literally being teched into everything because there's no real cost for it. So it's an absolutely almost free card because you get to pay the 1. But this is the Beerus deck. This is the Beerus deck. This is the Whis. I've heard it called Goodnight Whis. I've heard it called a bunch of different things, but I kind of wanted to test it out myself because I wasn't a big fan of the Whis. I'm like, to be honest, if you're playing the 4 Whis, you could be playing 4 other cards that you could win like earlier. Like, why are you stalling out? Like, you're playing all these cards to stall out. But it's a really controlled game, and it actually really does work. If there's other cards you're thinking about adding, these are the first 2 cards I thought of. I do want to test it out with these God Breaks on Gokus. They're a turn 7, so it's another high-cost card, but your opponent cannot activate counter against this card, and they cannot activate block against this card's attacks. So you go Whis, and then he quadruple breaks, then you drop this your next turn if you don't have another Whis, and he can't be stopped. The attack of Whis cannot be stopped. You're just literally telling your opponent no. So this is another card you could add. I'm not exactly sure where I'd put it if I were to add it to the deck, but those are some options. I kind of want, like I said, I wanted to try to build this as a mono blue deck because I feel like the mono blue is the better 2 of the variants, or of the better variants, and it's also kind of a budget deck. So hope you guys like this. This might be, unless I come up with another one, this might be the last deck profile till the next set comes out. Starting next week, if I don't have another deck profile, we're going to start going over different colors of the next set previews and going over how those cards interact and what I think of some of those cards. Hope you guys are happy or excited about that. Hit that like and subscribe button. If you have anything you want to let me know about, like any decks or any ideas, hit me up in the comment section and I will see you guys later. Have a great day. PokeRuss out. Peace.